Welcome, this is Black Lotus, your YouTube script critic, and in this video I'm just going to explain the difference between cross-val score, cross-val predict, and cross-validate within Sci-Kit Learn. So for the script I am going to use the breast cancer dataset provided from Sci-Kit Learn, and I have an instance of a logistic regression. And so just get right into it. Cross-val score is a cross-validation scoring metric within Sci-Kit Learn, and it takes in an estimator, your independent variables, a dependent variables, the number of times you want to perform cross-validation, and a scoring metric. In cross-val score, you can only pass one scoring metric, and the return value is an array of those scoring metrics, and the number of times it is provided is the number of cross-validations. So since I have 5 provided here, I would get an array of 5 accuracy scores. For cross-val predict, it takes in the same arguments except for the scoring metric, and instead you provide a method attribute, and the value you pass in for the method by default is predict, and what that will provide are predictions for, in this case, the class. For breast cancer classification. However, for method you may provide other values, and those other values are predict proba, predict log proba, and decision function. When you perform cross-val predict, it will return an array of the number of times it will return an array of the method n number of times, where n is the number of cross-validations. Now, the reason why you would use either cross-val score or cross-val predict is simply because they're easy to use and easy to understand. For cross-validate, as we have down here, it's very similar to cross-val score, except it can take in multiple scoring metrics. So as you see here, I have just accuracy, precision, and recall, just as an example. And then instead of returning an array of the scoring metrics, what cross-validate returns is a dictionary of not only the scores, but also other information such as fit time and score time. Okay, so I will go ahead and open up my REPL here. Oops. Let me activate my environment. Activate ML. And then start my REPL. I'll go ahead and run my script. And this will take just a little bit of time because I set the n iterations for my logistic regression pretty high. Okay, so we'll go ahead and check our cross-validated scores. And as I said before, it's returning an array of accuracy scores since I provided the scoring metric of accuracy. Of course, we could find the mean of that for the cross-validated mean. For the cross-val predict, I should receive an array of predictions for my dependent variable. And as you can see, 0 and 1, since this is a binary classification problem. And then for cross-validation, just take a look at that. It should return a dictionary of scores and other information. And let me just adjust my terminal so it looks a bit better. As you can see, that's exactly what it has. And then we would pull out individual scores, such as test accuracy, just by like you would any other dictionary. And of course, for mean, you can provide the mean as well. So just a quick recap. Cross-val score, you provide one scoring metric, and it returns an array of that scoring metric n times, where n is the CV. Cross-val predict returns an array of prediction scores by default, but other information can be passed in. And for cross-validate, it takes in multiple scoring metrics, but is a little bit more complicated and need a little bit more setup to perform. This is my presentation for the differences between cross-val score, cross-val predict, and cross-validate in Sci-Kit Learn. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got something out of it.